curious here. I want to talk about gun control. And I'm kind of stymied on the issue because on the one hand, I grew up with gun culture. Not necessarily gun culture as in houses that had firearms and everything like that, but guns on the street. I mean, there wasn't. I've seen people shot. You know, I remember one time I was we were out in this really bad neighborhood, and God knows we were drunk and what else. And we were sitting at this friend's house, and this truck pulls up, and this guy walks over and he goes, "Yeah, well, this is like about 50, 75 yards away. And we're all sitting in the front yard blowing off firecrackers and stuff like that, right? And we're watching, other people, they see problems, they go back in their house, or they shy away. No. We sit up on the fence like freaking greasers or something, right? Like freaking the Wanderers. Have you ever seen that movie? Or what was it? I don't know. The one with Pony Boy and all that. Anyway, we're sitting there watching this, right? And freaking, being badass. And freaking this one guy's arguing with this guy in the truck. And then the guy steps back. And it's like, boom! Guy just goes, poof! And I mean, this tweaker's freaking sitting there with a freaking double barrel outside his freaking window. And everybody's like, okay. And the guy's like, dying. And it's like, guy freaking sitting there with a shotgun. We start yelling at the guy. "Hey, man, what you doing? You just get one? You freaking schmo." We're Italian, but, it's fucking Pony Boy and the Greasers, right? Still can't remember the name of that goddamn movie. No, but I'm serious. This is true, right? And then freaking, but I could tell in the back of their heads, everyone was figuring about where to get for cover, where to freaking, move, and this was all just machismo bullshit because no one had a fucking gun to their fucking name, right? So, this guy freaking goes and he peels out because, he's tweaked up his ass and more fucked up than we are, right? He's out in the freaking in-month zone, when you've been up for like 25, 30 days. Tires go peeling, he takes off. Guy's still squirming on the ground. I think he stopped moving by then. We're like, oh, well, okay. That was neat. Come on, let's go in. Smoke into the bowl. That's gun culture to me. For real. Seen it. Had people chase me with guns. Had guns in my face. Wild side, baby. Now that I'm older, I'm like, no. All that machismo is gone. I hear guns all the time. In my neighborhood, there's gunfire everywhere, And the point is that I get online and I hear people talking about gun issues and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. You've got the freaking yuppies, or the yuppies and the preppies and the liberals, which are like poor yuppies, or punk rock, bunk yuppies, right? And then you got things like school shootings and shit, right? And you got them crying about this, and they're right. Because, I've seen that. in the urban areas, weapons make no sense. In suburban areas, yeah, you're more likely to shoot a family member than you are to protect a family member with a gun. I know I'm really being anti-gun here. But urban areas, oh my God. I mean, not urban areas, rural areas, oh my God. Country love, Polish your friggin' Betsy, Whoa. And you look not just at the old school gun lovers, because these things are like works of art almost, right? And almost in science. But you see, like, the gun industry, when you go to, like, the gun channels and watch the gun channels, all of a sudden, you realize something. This shit's not just hunting entertainment. This shit's hobby entertainment. AR-15 is the big friggin' jack-off of friggin' accessories, parts, all kinds of junk that you could customize your friggin' gat. And where there's money, where there's supply, there's demand. And people wonder, well, the liberals wonder, they're going, which are probably correct, but still, but wait a minute, but still, there's the other side. There's legitimate uses for rural use. And then there's just gun culture, because guns are fun. Watching people die in the street isn't fun. You wouldn't know it by me, but, it's just, they're fun. You see the commercials where, before the gun show, the ads always change on YouTube. And freaking, you'll see some guy talking about his latest AR-15 build and his Echo 2 trigger and his bump stock and his freaking custom Wiley freaking, sights and his freaking, how he had his freaking mount drilled because he had his freaking Picatinny rail on there with a tack light, friggin' 3.2 scope and stuff, and it's like, and then this is the guy talking on the video. But before the video, you get the full glossy 3D CGI friggin' TAC-10 Force multi-scope is the Urban Precision Technical Specialist for your friggin' tactical needs. Hey, you gotta get it right. Gun here, gun here. Michael Bay should make a fucking movie as good as that shit. You transform us like a goddamn gun ad, the shit would have been a freaking success. And you can't denounce these things as being side issues. Because our culture is the issue. And no one's being honest with themselves. Because, in my opinion, gun control doesn't work because, in reality, it's not the mechanics of the weapon. It's the attitude of the weapon. We make gun laws so there's not machine guns, but then you got echo triggers and bump stocks and freaking custom freaking light freaking trigger recoils and all this other stuff to just basically skirt around these laws. And a good pump shotgun or even a freaking break barrel will be, very tactical. You fire twice. If it's a 2-barrel, you freaking get behind your cover, you break. They have auto ejects, you slam a couple more shells in, you go back to your tactics, you take shots. And so gun control really doesn't make that much sense in the fact that it only makes it inconvenient to, like, the completely unresponsible. Which, given California, where I'm at in freaking the 1980s, when freaking they had freaking movies with people with stupid things and major firepower, of course they were going to outlaw that stuff. You know, colors, pulling out MAC 10s and freaking saws and freaking Uzis and freaking 50 calibers and everything else, you know. It's like, don't be a menace to society. Or drinking your gin and juice. I mean, it's a freaking Damon Wayans freaking comedy, you know? Let's we'll have the freaking rocket launchers. Christ. You know, and it's scary when that freaking beatbox fucking car booms down the street. You ain't thinking diversity, motherfucker. You're thinking, is that motherfucker gonna pull out and freaking 3 or 4 fucking people are gonna pile out that motherfucker at hoopty and fucking waste your ass with freaking grins on their face? I seen it. So, you know, I tried talking about this as a serious video, but seriously, what? Who are you fucking kidding? Who the fuck are you kidding? It's money. It's big money. And yet, the whole crux around all of it is guns are, at their core, a part of civic constituent power. In other words, you get 100 people together and you say no. Nah. You're out of line, federal government. You know, and people say, well, you know, you'll just get blown up and stuff. No, you won't get blown up. Well, you might get blown up. But more or less, what you'll have is like a Waco situation or Ruby Ridge. What you'll have is well-trained tactical government forces who use friggin' optics, reconnaissance vehicles, and radar to, and well as training, just to neutralize you with extreme prejudice. The Second Amendment gun rights don't make sense because a one-shot, one-musket constituency force, militia, isn't viable anymore. Like, for example, I don't know where it was or when it was, but I read that it was like Civil War, but not Civil War, pre-Civil War, but I think post-Revolution or something like that, right? That one musket, one shot kind of time, right? And, you know, smoke and powder with the balls and powder. And breech loader, that's it. And what happened was that these, I think like, there was a town, like about 100, 200 people. And like about 40 or so frigging soldiers marched in and freaking decided, hey, you know, we're going to set some rules and we're going to straighten all you people out. Well, everyone and their freaking brother pulled out a freaking breech loader and started shooting, and the ones that couldn't shoot or were freaking loading and handing off. That's what you do. You know, back then, you got one person freaking shooting, and then you hand the gun back, and the person that's freaking reloading, doing the freaking powder, the freaking wad, the ball, and I think another wad. I don't know, it's something like that, right? They freaking, and maybe since it's a flintlock, the charge. I think there was a cap. No, it was caps were later, but there was a flint you had to replace or something on the hammer, and the ones that were on the side. And then they freaking, that's how you fought the engines, right? Where you had the freaking repeaters. Yeah, real nice, but true, right? And you freaking, one person shot, and another person, they handed the gun back, and then the other person took the gun, they lined up, and they shot again. And that's the way it worked. Nowadays, you've got firearms that can rapidly repeat, and people could tactically coordinate. So, I would say gun right is an ownership, but if it's really the right to own guns to have a militia, then that's outdated. It's really whether you want to accept that the second part is completely in context with the first part. And thank you, Founding Fathers, for making that utterly confusing nowadays. Because back then it meant one and the same. Now it doesn't. And so, gun culture now is rural, suburban, urban, and the differing issues and conditions with those. Whether it's sports shooting, hobbyist, or freaking self-defense. And that's really what we're going to have to decide, I think. If we really want to solve the gun issue and the industry around it. And by the way, that's a true story. And it's not my only one. Anyway, I'll save those other stories for later. Here's looking at you. See you in the funny papers.